So here's the thing. I was about to go on the trip of a lifetime. I had my bags packed, my excitement through the roof, and everything was lined up perfectly. Flights were booked, accommodations ready, and I was mentally already halfway there. And then, out of nowhere, life decided to throw a curveball. I'm talking about the kind of curveball where you get that email, or a phone call, or even a text message, something that flips your world upside down. For me, it was a notification from the airline. You know, that dreaded message that starts with, "We regret to inform you." Yeah, it was one of those. My flight was canceled. Completely. And not just for one day or two, but indefinitely. I remember sitting there, staring at my phone, trying to process it. I kept reading that email over and over again, like maybe I was missing something, like maybe there was a catch. But no, the trip was off. No flying, no vacation. For a second, I felt this heavy weight in my chest, like someone just took the air right out of my lungs. I didn't know what to do. And then, reality hit harder. What about all that money I'd spent? Plane tickets, hotel reservations, non-refundable tour packages? All that cash, all that time, down the drain? It felt like a gut punch. I couldn't stop thinking about it. The frustration, the helplessness. But then, there was a tiny flicker of hope in the back of my mind. I'd remembered something. I had purchased travel insurance. I hadn't really thought much about it at the time, if I'm being honest. I got it because it seemed like a good idea when I was booking everything. You know, just in case. I had no idea how much I would need it. I quickly pulled up my policy. It was a mess of legal jargon, and I almost regretted bothering with it, but I kept going. And then, like a light bulb flicking on, I saw it. Trip cancellation coverage. I honestly thought I'd misunderstood. How could insurance actually work when it came to travel? But sure enough, it was right there. I started reading the terms carefully. It was complicated, sure, but I realized I might actually get some of my money back. So I reached out to the insurance company. It was like a small, fleeting moment of clarity amidst all the chaos. I was connected with an agent who walked me through the process. And here's the kicker. This wasn't some slow process or we'll get to it when we can situation. They were responsive. They were fast. It felt like they genuinely wanted to help me. They asked for the documents, the cancellation notice, and the usual stuff. I sent everything over, not knowing what would happen next. And then came the waiting game. I was nervous, still unsure if this was going to work out. But then, just a few weeks later, the refund hit my account. I remember checking my bank statement and seeing that money back in my account. It felt like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. All that uncertainty, the stress, it was like a wave crashing over me, washing it all away. I couldn't believe it. The whole trip had been canceled, but somehow I was able to bounce back financially because of that insurance. It was a total lifesaver. And here's the part one didn't expect to happen. I didn't just get the refund. I also felt like I had learned something about travel and being prepared. For real, I never thought about travel insurance like this before. It's not some big, overwhelming thing that just covers emergencies. It's there to protect you when life throws a wrench in your plans. And honestly, I'm never booking another trip without it. I know it's easy to think, oh, that's just something extra, or it's a waste of money. But when that sudden change happens, when you're staring at the reality of having your trip fall apart, having that backup plan is worth its weight in gold. So if you're traveling anytime soon or planning something big, even just a weekend getaway, I highly recommend checking out auras.insure. I'm not here to push you to buy something. I'm just sharing what worked for me. It was a total game changer. It's something I actually trust and use every time I book a trip now. If you want to be smart about travel and not risk losing your hard-earned money when things go south, it's honestly worth looking into. Trust me, you won't regret it.